And once again, it's that time, guys. It's Lions Talk with Smokkin, Jeremy B, and Von Doom.
Charles here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smith.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, and tonight's show, Ricky Sakat in the house. Kneecap biters rise up. Thank you very much, Ricky. DeWayne King, good morning, all. Let's go Detroit Lions, one pride, Kings of the North Division Championship. Yes, we are all that. John Kapler wrote a story before we get started. It's stuff that we've all said during the show as soon as the season was over. I see you got yours on. That's our nighttime show, I thought, but okay, yeah, I can go change.
This is for Fred Peterson and I love Fred Peterson. He's funny, but more like Cousin Jan, that dickhead from yesterday.
Troy.
Yeah.
RXJ. Yes, that's right. It is a fuck your feelings Friday. Yeah, turn the opposite way you think when you're looking at the camera. I've got two of the same sweatshirt.
It's actually really comfortable too.
It is. They signed. Ooh, really? Thank you so much, sir. Ricky Sakat has been the man. All I got to say is he's donated more in the past 3 weeks than anybody else has ever donated to my show, and we appreciate you very much. Lion Kapler says that's funny because I have a fuck your feelings hat.
Next week I'll have a fuck the Packers hat.
I bought a sweatshirt for wearing. Oh, Brent, I love the black jerseys. That's why I used it as the thumbnail for the start of the show. That is one of the concepts that's on the table out of the 4 they're talking about doing next year. Or this season coming up, because this is the year they can totally change everything. And I'll continue to do it every single day. I will say the lag is a little less, pardon me, on YouTube than it is on Facebook, and I've heard it's a much better thing. So if you wanted to go over there and look up kneecap biting, I swear to God, all you gotta do is type in those 3 words, and I'm one of the top 3 things that come up on YouTube. It's that easy to find, especially if you're in Michigan. I've heard the experience is much more enjoyable. I'm currently sitting at 377 subscribers. The Football Talk 365 is sitting at 362, so they gained a couple. Yeah, black, silver, and blue. I love it. I would love for them to do a black helmet with it. Thank you, Ricky. Because some big changes are coming up, and I'm looking at doing something totally different throughout this year. Hopefully, I have enough money saved up to do it by summer before the season starts. I'm looking at starting my own Roku channel and basically my own sports network itself too, because I want to be on live TV. But that means I got to clean up my act. We can wear the shirts, we just can't say the words.
I must respectfully decline.
You must respectfully decline, really? You can't hold back.
I'm sorry. It depends. Like, if somebody keeps dropping the name Galladay in the chat, no, you're going to have to bleep the hell out of everything. We're going to need that 3-second delay. You're going to have to sit there, beep, 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 beep.
I'm not complaining about subscribers. I love the fact I've done slow and steady growth because you know what I don't have? I don't have 8 people dropping off every week anymore. In the beginning, it would be that way because my opinions rub some fans the wrong way. And you know what? That's fine. But John Kapler, everything you said in the beginning is true. I agree with you 100%. We need a first string defensive tackle, but Aleem is a DT1. Dan and Jeremy on TV would be must see. Beep, 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 beep. You just need to go. And that's the news for today.
Hey, they let McAfee on TV.
Yeah, Pat McAfee is allowed on TV now, but he had to clean up his act too. He's being censored a little bit because every time he drops an F-bomb, the beep comes out. He goes, there we go. Yeah, I can see it now. And the Lions have done something that I didn't think they'd do. They re-signed Michael Badgley yesterday, which means Dan the Gambler Campbell, who doesn't trust him, is going to continue to do his fourth down shenanigans all next year. Yay, I'm so happy. Now, granted, the fourth down plays he called, I don't care for Pat Mack. He said garbage about our Lions. Dwayne Keane said, oh,
I don't care. Pat McAfee is a national treasure. The way
he
he
did.
trolled Georgia on live TV when they're playing Bama was one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Off to a great start this morning. Yeah, that news just had me going. Von Doom's going to get to dance a lot today because I hated that news. Well, you wouldn't be able to. Your censor siren is obnoxious. Most of them are. I was just being funny. It was for laughs. Sorry. Didn't mean it to offend anyone. Yeah, his show is still must-see TV. Yes, he's been disrespectful. There's a lot of the professional guys that talk that's been disrespectful about Michigan. Oh boy, here we go. Fred Peterson. Good morning, Jeremy and Voodoo Von Doom, the savage. Psh. Von Doom is so savage that he shut my internet off my phone until 5 minutes after the show because he didn't want me to hear say Galladay. Savage. You must have AT&T.
Supposedly, they were trying to extend their coverage network, and that's what happened. Yeah, huh? Yeah. And then supposedly, a satellite got hit and is falling.
The sky is falling.
It's bad enough YouTube puts me in timeout and says I'm bullying when all I'm doing is speaking the truth on World Matters, but I'm going to leave it alone. Man, John Kapler,
Pat Mack,
YouTube is nowhere near.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Anyway, YouTube is nowhere near as bad as Facebook posting. I literally said that a Lions fan made me want to bang my own head off of the concrete, and I got a 30-day Facebook deal.
Right. But good morning to everybody. Yes, Michael Badgley is back. I'm not happy about it. I would love for the G-men to sign Burrito Jones so we can hear Dan go crazy on who shall not be named Burrito.
He would never play. We have
you guys
the
got
best defensive tackle in football.
But I'm done with the siren. I was just being funny about censorship. I was just trying to go there. And one funky lion fan says, John, it's because you always take cheap shots and add in pointless insults. And that may be.
That's the fun.
Let me be frank about it. I like us re-signing Badgley as much as I like us bringing back Jelani Tavai. And no, it's not happening. So you can see how much. Yep, and there was a video of a Cowboys player ripping off his TV off the wall last season and then smashing it. I commented, "Don't break the TV, burn the jersey," and I got a 30-day ban for that. The bans come out fast and furious on Facebook. If somebody reports it or they flag it as offensive, I've been banned for an hour once. It only lasted an hour because I appealed it. Because wait, I shared somebody else's meme where it showed it was their post where I actually where they actually showed the person's name that did the meme because I didn't want to get. I don't have a way to turn it down. The sound card has a set volume for the sound effect. It's why I don't use the siren. And I actually quit talking and I'm mouthing the cuss words when I do the siren thing. So it's like an actual censorship beep, just like they would on TV. The funniest beep I ever heard on regular news. Wow, Rick. Yeah, stuff like that is stupid. But
promoted violence.
I will say, back in the day when Facebook wasn't as strict, I think it was what 2012 when Eric Ebron's kid was born, and my buddy Detroit Dom literally commented on the picture of him holding the baby. Hopefully, you can hold on to the baby better than you do a football. And Eric Ebron actually deleted his Facebook. He left social media because of Dom DeRubis. You know, hey, I don't want arguments starting in the chat over stuff, but they just made you delete that comment. But the good thing is, guess what, Ricky? I can actually say it. I can still see it here. It stays in our stream chat because it's a live show.
Ricky, did it come up and say that you were promoting violence?
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Fascist book.
The problem with a lot of things is no, stop. Hey, John, stop the fighting back and forth, please. This is my show. I don't want fighting with other fans. I respect everybody's opinion, and I just comment on the show and not on each other, because you know what? We don't need that here. We are all fans of the same team. We are all entitled to our same. It just said promoting violence and goes against community standards and some crap. I hurry and deleted it because I don't want to get kicked out of here. Amen. I hear you. It's the same way everywhere. You know, what happened to if you didn't like what somebody said about you, you went up there, punched them in the mouth, and the next day you hugged about it?
I can't answer that question. The show might get shut down if I answer that question.
Oh, he must be a fan of another team and didn't understand what he was saying at the post-game content. The real Lion King in the house for real. What up? It's been a great season. And yes, Will, I haven't even got to that topic. Thanks for reading ahead. I love it. I haven't even got to the second topic yet. We are still talking about Michael Badgley being back. Yep, back in the day, people got punched over a bad look. Facts.
The whole concept of fuck around and find out was a real thing. not just some Facebook line or social media bullshit that you say, because now you can't do anything because everybody's a snowflake that's going to sue each other or call the cops.
We have an hour-long show. I try not to go to the last topic of the show in the first 15 minutes. All right, everybody put it in the chat. Who is your draft crush so far this season? Von Doom, who's yours? For both the Giants and the Lions, who's your draft crush?
Draft crush. Man, see, that's the thing. I don't have anybody I'm absolutely in love with at that pick. Like for the Giants, I want Joe Alt or Jaden Daniels. But I'm not in love with either one of them. You know what I mean? My favorite player in the entire draft is Brock Bowers, but not at that pick. Brock Bowers for the Lions at 29 if he fell, absolutely. Or Cooley McKinstry are my two favorites for the Lions.
If we played press man defense for coverages, I would want any of the top 4 prospects that they've talked about. Nate Wiggins, Quinion Mitchell, Kool-Aid McKinstry, or Terrion Arnold. But the fact that we are a zone coverage defense 72% of the time, it's Cooper DeJean and Kalen King that's actually the fits at corner. Unfortunately, it's the facts.
Alabama played a lot of zone, though, with Nick Saban there. Fred Peterson. I love you, buddy. That's what we're going to go with that today.
We weren't going free agency. I was just talking about in the draft. In the free agency, my crushes right now, AJ Empineza for defensive end. And I've said it again, and I'll say it before, because he's great. He's better in zone coverage than in press man. It's Chidobe Awuzie, 28 years old, a nice leader to come in, hasn't had very many health issues. In his zone coverages, is way better than his press man coverages. And we run predominantly zone under AG.
Except for the half of the season you don't. You know, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't want to see B in the first round, but if Cooper DeJean is there, yes, I do. It is my Cash App. Let me put it into the chat here.
Yeah, you do that. I'm going to talk. Brent. At pick 29, I'm fine with taking a cornerback there because you're basically in the second round already anyway. So you're not going to be paying like top 10, top 15 money to him. You're getting a better deal on him. And if one of those top guys was able to fall to you, I think you got to take it because that's the most glaring need on the team. Ooh, Leonard Taylor out of Miami, right?
And my other draft crush is Tavondre Sweat because he's a true DT2.
You just like his name because he's a sweat. He's a fucking diehard.
No, I don't like him just because of his name. I like him because he's a 6'4", 360-pound mountain of a man who can actually.
Jonathan Haidt, that's funny.
Jared Verse is a top 15 pick. He isn't falling past 15. There is no way. There's way too many people that need defensive edge up front. All I know is I was watching him work out, and when 5 offensive linemen have to take 3 to try to stop somebody, even in practice, that's somebody I want on the team. If you put him next to
I got a great idea, man. Great idea for you. If Williams, May, Daniels, Alt, and Harrison Jr. are the top 5 picks, you guys should trade up with the Giants. Give us your first, second, and next year's first. You guys come to 6, take whoever the fuck you want.
Oh, yeah, that's just brilliant. I love that idea.
You get Brock Bowers at 6, man. You steal.
Lad McConkey from Georgia. Mid-round picks I like. What was the one linebacker / safety we keep talking about? James Williams or Wilson? It's Williams, right? Yeah. I was one of the guys that actually said Detroit did good taking Jahmyr Gibbs, and at 12, rather than the top 10, the expectations are less than what they were for Behan. I said, and if Gibbs does anything more than Behan, it's a win. I said that on my draft show. Von Doom, you got me sold on Morgan. Yeah, if we trade up, fine. I'm okay with whoever they get. I trust Brad Holmes. But he also said with that pick, we might not even. And Gibbs was better than Behan. Yes, he ended up
Behan
doing
wasn't
way
bad.
more. No, he averaged, what was it? 4.2 yards per carry and had 4 touchdowns, 2 receiving, so 6 total. What did Gibbs have? Oh, yeah, 900 yards rushing, a 5.8 or 6.2 yards per carry or some crazy stuff like that. And he had the 2 receiving touchdowns on top of 9 rushing touchdowns. I like it.
Brent, have yourself a great day, man. Thank you for hopping in and watching.
Don't work too hard. But Cooper DeJean is not attending the combine, which will make him fall and slip past guys. And if Cooper DeJean falls all the way to 29, do we really have to go anywhere to get him? Nope. Could we not even be there and somebody else get him? In the mocks prior to the combine,
Project Martin, yes, we understand, but he hasn't shown the development to be on the field yet all the time.
and trusting AG to develop anybody is like trusting Matt Patricia to develop anybody. Until I see it, I don't see development. I see the talent showing that's on the field, and that's all I've seen.
Alabama's just one of the most pro-ready programs in college football, so it doesn't hurt to take players from them. Same thing with Georgia for the most part. They play pro style.
The only thing that Cooper leave AG alone. No, I won't leave AG alone. He was absolutely straight booty cheeks in the third quarter all season. The third quarter, offensively and defensively, the Lions sucked. 15 spots worse than the average rank in that quarter on both sides. Until they fix what's going on, in that third quarter, we won't win anything other than the division. That's it. I don't think Cooper DeJean's falling out of the first round is the problem, Big Dan. I think it was more the coach than the QB. What happened? The offense would adjust when it didn't need to. If everything's working in the first half and they haven't stopped it, don't change it. And yes, I loved Gibbs. One Funky Lion fans, you were one of the ones that agreed with me on my draft stream that Gibbs would be better than Behan because he was the better all around running back. So he probably will do his pro day. He's not hurt. I think it's more because he lacks the change of direction. That's why he got moved to safety this year. He's played cornerback in college and in the high school and switched to safety this year. And I think it was more because they were using him in the punt and kick return duties. And I think he learned a little bit more change of direction there. But why does he want to hinder falling out of the first by doing anything in the drills that will hurt his draft stock? I kind of agree with that.
Have you guys heard how the representation for a lot of these players, the agents and all that, are telling them not to participate in the combine and not to participate in any cognitive testing?
Yeah, because of what happened with C.J. Stroud losing the first pick overall to Bryce Young and other quarterbacks that have fell because of their poor testing scores.
And for the most part, though, those cognitive tests have been right outside of C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, a lot of agents are telling the kids to not take the cognitive testing, only do the physical tests, and not even do the drills. Do the physical tests and walk off the field, and that's it.
Tell
And
them to
it's
go watch the goddamn tape.
Yeah. What's funny is already making $58 million cap hit this year because of that bloated contract. Because it was so backloaded. And the fact that he lost in the first round in the playoffs and they're thinking about giving him that contract tells me how delusional Jerry Jones is.
You know what, too? He did have probably his best pro season ever. He wasn't bad this year. He's just Dak. But he did do a very team-friendly deal on this last one so that they could take care of shit early on. So
Right.
If they're going to give him that deal, by all means, give him the damn deal so you can't sign anybody and CD Lamb and Parsons have to leave. Because that would kind of make me a little happy.
Yep, they're saying don't do that IQ test. They're saying don't do the drills. Just do the 40 time, broad jump, vertical jump, all that stuff, 10-yard shuttles. Now, I've said as long as it's not more than 42.5, I'm good with Goff getting that money. Because of what if Dak gets 60 and they haven't extended Goff, they're not extending Goff because it will be 50 plus, and you can't afford that.
50 plus, I think he'd be probably closer to 55, 60 because he'd be like, this motherfucker ain't done shit.
Right. And yep, 40, jump, press, and go home. Absolutely. If you get him at that 42.5, and there's a reason I say that. That's 16% of the salary cap for this season. You get him at that, that's a perfect quarterback level. And then the increase that goes up with the increases that come each year from other contracts and stuff like that, it's a perfect fit. He'll never make less than 16%. You can front load it, back load it, whatever you want at that point. 42.5 is the right number. It's 10 million more than his cap hit this year. It gives him a raise, acknowledges what he is. But you know what? Dak still has better wheels than Goff. Mahomes has better wheels than Goff. Lamar Jackson has better wheels than Goff. Jalen Hurts, better wheels than Goff. I'm speaking facts. He's not a game-changing quarterback. He's a game manager quarterback.
See, I agree. And if I'm going to be paying that much for a quarterback, I want them to be able to take over it when the rest of my team shits the bed. I want this guy to be able to say, screw it, I'm going to go get myself 60, 70 yards, maybe a touchdown, and change the entire pace of this game. Who are Giants free agents fans doing? We talk about it.
Ricky Sakat had the comment of the day. I'm not sure there's a quarterback out there that doesn't have better wheels than Goff. He's a statue.
The Giants have three majors, man.
And I said my hot take is that a deal won't be done because all I've heard is Goff's agent and Brad Holmes are far apart on money. Both times they tried to talk all throughout last year.
Hang on a second. I gotta check something real quick.
And at the same time, every time he's been asked about Goff's contract this year, he said, "Next question, please." Paul Jones, sorry I'm late. You can go ahead and start the show now. Welcome in, Paul Jones. Too late. We've been talking all day. I'll catch you up. Michael Badgley's re-signed, so Dan the Gambler Campbell will continue his fourth down heroics. Cooper's not attending the combine, and that's the reason is scouts are telling kids not to attend the combine. We have 21 watching and only 5 likes. Get those likes up, people. One thing I can do is see you there. We got 10 on Football Talk 365. We got 2 on Kneecap Biters and 1 on Detroit Lions on the Prowl and 6 on Lions. Yeah, it is not spelled like that.
Okay. Hey, dude. Okay, so Jared Goff's agent says he wants the best possible deal for his quarterback. Now, if they use the Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, they're both 40 and under, it's 40 and 37.5. Then your next two would be Deshaun Watson at 46, Jalen Hurts at 51.5.
Right. And the cap hit for Kyler Murray this year is $55 million.
If they're using those as the comparisons, like 45, 46 is that. But Dak goes and throws out a $60 million contract. How does he not want 55 plus?
Right. That's where I'm at.
Can I address something Will said too real quick?
Yes, absolutely. Run funky Lions fan. There you go. The Rams game is a perfect example of Goff. 22 of 22 when protected. 0 of 5, 3 sacks, and a weird-looking two-handed fumble when he was pressured.
Will, real quick, the Giants' 3 main free agents is Barkley, Xavier McKinney, and Adoree Jackson. And Jackson's the only one that might end up being back. But they might transition tag on Xavier McKinney because we don't value safety because we suck.
Why or why not extension of Goff? I'm not a fan. Sorry, guys. Why? Because he got us further than we've been in 32 years. Why not? Because I don't want to hamper the core of the team. I would rather keep the team together around him, which makes him better, than pay him more than everybody else on the team. That's just me. And nowhere am I saying Goff is a bad quarterback. He's a good to great game manager. But when the pressure hits, he falls apart. We saw it this year.
He is like every other average quarterback in the NFL. When there's pressure, he tries to go to his first read, and he throws it too soon. It's usually freaking short. He doesn't stand in there. He doesn't take that hit. I don't blame him because I wouldn't want to be hit by a 265-pound Mack truck coming at me either. But
I'll disagree.
You can't extend that play. What do you say?
I'm going to disagree with you there. He has stood in and taken hits. Well, you have to remember that $19 million was not just for the Lions. That's across the board. That freed up teams to do a lot more this year. And remember, 19.3 is the bottom end of it. That's what they know is going to happen. It could be up to $6 million more. I think Chris Jones wants a bag. He wants to be a $30+ million defensive tackle like Aaron Donald, and he kind of deserves it.
His production hasn't fallen. He gives you 10 sacks a year. He sets the tone on that defense, and nobody fucks with him. He's worth that $30 million a year. if he fits your culture, if he fits the spot you're going to play, and if you got that fucking money. It's not even just pay him $50 million that you hurt it. Even at $40 million, you hurt your chances to keep players around. Look how bad cap situation the Giants are in with paying Jones 40.
John Kapler, you're missing what I said. They said to do the physical testing and not do the mental, the cognitive stuff. Some of the guys are just saying, screw it. I don't even want to go to the combine because they do all the same testing at pro day. You run the same exact drills where you're comfortable. And 9 times out of 10, where you're comfortable at, you do better than you do on a big show, on a big stage in front of thousands of people watching. That's funny.
Chiefs.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff they're talking about. It's not a Wonderlic test anymore. They call it something else now, but the Wonderlic test was done away with. I think, God, what was it? 6 years ago now, Von Doom?
Roughly. Who?
I'm good with your dog. He's a modern day Troy Aikman. Who are you talking to, John Campler? Exactly, Ricky Sakat. I said that test don't matter. The guy's a gamer on the field, makes great decisions on the field, and he does not look like your typical Ohio State quarterback. He was one of the few that did not run first. Man, what a great show. Great interaction today. I love it. But yes, the Wonderlic test was a joke. That's why they did away with it. Now it's a cognitive test and a psychological test and all that stuff. What's funny is they don't post the results of that psychological test stuff. That never comes out. No, I just like the moonshine cup. I do got moonshine in the car though, in the trunk.
And to answer that question about Jones, just looking over the Chiefs cap thing right now, they could do a little bit of cutting and clear close to $40 million. So they should be able to keep him as the.
So what you're telling me, Goff is a modern day Troy Aikman? Well, let me go into that because Troy Aikman's regular season stats never looked as good as Goff. They won because of Emmitt Smith, the O line, and that defense. They did not win on Troy Aikman's arm. The only guy he ever completed passes to was the tight end and Michael Irvin. And it was more about Michael Irvin bailing his ass out than anything else. Troy Aikman is probably the third most overrated quarterback in Super Bowl history to make a Hall of Fame.
I would look good playing behind the Great Wall of Dallas, too.
Behind the Dallas O-line of the 90s or the current Lions O-line, I think half of us could complete 5 to 10 yard passes with no problem.
I just like calling them the Great Wall of Dallas because nobody got past that shit.
If Dallas wasn't at home for the third year in the row, John Kapler, I'd be excited to play them this year.
We're playing. Huh. Honestly, man, I haven't even looked yet. Who are they playing? Let me go see.
Oh, I think I got it right here. Just a second. I'll put the list up. There it is. Okay.
Texans. That's my choice right there, Texans.
Is it Texans coming here or at Texans? At Houston Texans? I want to see what's the big one that's at home. The big matchup that's at home.
Rams again.
Yeah, and Seattle got screwed again. Their 4th year in a row of coming here. But they usually do. But they don't have Pete Carroll, so I'm not as scared anymore. So I say Rams, Seahawks, Jaguars are the big matchups at home I want to see again. That's just me. On the road, I would have to say it's Texans and Cowboys.
Welcome to NFL 100. Thousands of people watching you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Paul Jones.
I don't.
Look at that. I agree. Troy. Michael Irvin made him look really good. Dallas had a defense too back then. So does Amon-Ra make Jared Goff look good?
How many times have we seen Amon-Ra, and during the season, because he damn sure didn't do it in the championship game, but Josh Reynolds and Sam Laporta bail out bad passes that were almost at their shoestrings. I'm just saying, Goff is good when there's no pressure, but once the pressure comes, he gets the yips and he sails shit. Troy Aikman was the same thing. Even though that had that great offensive line, he still would get pressured every now and then. And in those games, guess what? I think he only had either 5 less or 10 less passes that were interceptions and touchdowns in his career. Goff's not that bad. So to say that Goff is like Troy Aikman is almost an insult.
Exactly. St. Brown and the receivers make him look good. Hence my reasoning for not wanting to give him a bag, because I want to give them all a mid-tier instead of top tier so I can keep them together.
Thank God that we didn't see a whole bunch of those Detroit Rams jerseys. Yep. I was watching a highlight reel after work last night. Goff's top 10 throws of the year, and 3 of them were great catches by Laporta and St. Brown. Troy wasn't a game manager, though. If you look with his interception ratio, he was a gunslinger. He didn't make great decisions. Troy was not a game manager. He was a gunslinger. He had a big arm and no brain to back it up. Body by Fisher, brains by Mattel.
But you really can't compare them because of the rules. Because back then, your receiver went in the air and your corner could knock the shit out of him. And how many of those balls ended up getting picked off? Now the receiver goes in there. Everybody step back 3 feet. We can't touch him, motherfucker.
I know everybody. It's why I've been booted off of a few other shows. Smoke, you're the only YouTuber that tell the truth on Goff. And he's absolutely right. I mean, I'm not a Goff hater though. I'm just calling it like it is. He's a good to great game manager, but he's not a game-changing quarterback, and I don't want to give him game-changing quarterback money. That's where I'm at. 100%. And yes, mentally, Goff is like a coach on the field. You hear him kill plays, call another play at the line. Luke G will call out Goff too. I know. But I'm the only one that does it on a daily basis. Von Doom sit here and listen to me. Has listened to me tell the truth about Goff for 2 straight years. Have you not,
I've
Von
said
Doom?
fuck Goff for 2 straight years.
And I said, well, he's not that bad. He's got better numbers than Daniel Jones.
Okay.
It's hooker time, not like the city of Detroit hasn't heard that before. Comment of the day.
We've said it how many times we want Anthony Orgy to be the freaking next backup to Malik Hooker. That way, when he throws a touchdown in garbage time, there's an Orgy in the end zone.
That's okay. I appreciate it, Lion King. We've talked before on multiple venues. You know, Lion King, I get it. Hey, the only thing I said is I would like for us to find a UDFA that's either a wide receiver or a tight end with the last name Blow, and he ends up having to play at the end of the year with Hooker as the quarterback, and we could have that children's book be the title of a winning game in December. Hooker and Blow saves Christmas. It would be the greatest ever. Too bad it's not like Madden. You just can't create a player to be a UDFA.
Dude, no, see, that's
Okay,
why.
okay,
Because
okay, look at this. Of these three, who would you rather have and why? Goff, Lawrence, or Herbert? Out of all those, you put Herbert behind this O line with the talent on this team, we'd have went to the Super Bowl. Trevor Lawrence is no better statistically than Daniel Jones.
Mr. Blow would go to Miami.
He just has a better team around him. And Goff is here. So, in all actuality, you stay with Goff. You keep him under the contract, let him ride it out, let Hooker develop another year.
They didn't have the money to.
Hooker and Blow sounds like a lottery winner's party.
All you got to do is get one of the receivers that's already on the team and just legally go change your name like CD Deuce did.
Yeah, just something better than CD Deuce. I wouldn't change St. Brown. Maybe Jamison Williams. That's who I'd have change his name. J-Mo Blow. Because he blows by defenders. Come on, that's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, but that would just leave it open for all the JMO haters to just go JMO blows.
I think he threw one, wasn't it, to Jamison Williams? I'll look it up again, but I'm pretty sure Goff threw at least one, if not two. Paul has a comment that cracks me up every day. I like this dude. I know.
But yeah, man, back to Ricky's question though. Herbert behind this offensive line with a coach that isn't Brandon Staley?
Yep, one touchdown to James.
That'd be nasty. Wasn't JMO's on a freaking sweep?
It was a fourth down. No. He had an end around sweep and a receiving touchdown at the end of the game. Remember? Because that's what got us to go for the onside kick. Saint did not have a touchdown. It was one touchdown thrown by Goff in the entire game, and that was to Jamison Williams. JMO just scored I think JMO just scored another touchdown. All I know is every 6 touches for Jamison Williams was a touchdown in his career. Our best receiver in that game was Sam Laporta. Right, one was the end around, a rushing touchdown, and the other one was a receiving touchdown. One funky Lions fan, you're absolutely right. That 42-yard end around. It was amazing to see. That guy runs like the wind. Herbert has had weapons that are hurt and missed 6 to 8 games every year as a combined. And you can actually say that Amon-Ra St. Brown has outperformed Keenan Allen every year that he's been here. So I don't want to hear that. People always throw this out there. Right. It runs like a mime in the wind. Yeah, and Eckler is a fine running back and he's a fine receiving back, but you can't have one guy do it all. As you can see, because Eckler is starting to break down. He got hurt and missed like 4 games this year. The running game absolutely disappeared, and they had a losing streak.
Hence the reason running backs don't get big contracts anymore, because you run them into the ground and you say, bye-bye, let me draft a new one.
I'm pretty sure the Amon-Ra extension is probably going to get done within the month. Golf is not good enough for my money. Tickets, parking, Lion gear, and all sky high at Ford. Hey, there's one Lion jersey I have not bought off this current regime, and I don't plan on it. Want to know who it is? Throw the name out there, Von Doom. You know what it is.
Is he Jared Goff?
Yeah. Put it this way. I bought a Hendon Hooker jersey before I bought a Jared Goff jersey. Yeah, I'll be stalking the Chargers this season. They looked like a good coach away from beating us last season.
Yeah, the team's not bad. They're in cap hell. They're not bad.
St. Brown's extension has nothing to do with the money. The money's right. It has to do with the length of the extension. I believe St. Brown has said repeatedly on that podcast with his brother, he wants to be a Lion for life. I think he wants that 5 to 7 year contract, and the Lions are throwing out a 3 or 4 year contract. I think that's what it's all about.
And the contract really doesn't mean anything for this year, because even when he signs that new contract, it doesn't add any money to this contract because it's the final year of his rookie deal.
Right. So it doesn't affect the cap till next season. I'd give him the 5 to 7 in a heartbeat. But I think the Lions are looking at, God, do we want to pay a guy that much for that long? You want to know what current regime I got? Give Saint 25 for 10. I've got St. Brown, Hutchinson, Sewell, Rodrigo, Hooker, Campbell. On the way, I got a Laporta and a Branch.
Laporta and Branch are the only ones I want. But that's more because I liked them before they came to the Lions.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you were talking about Laporta 2 years ago.
I was talking about his freaking rookie year. I was like, this kid is special.
No. I'm talking about 2 years ago when we first met.
Oh, yeah.
Brad doesn't like giving contracts over 4 years, I've noticed. Very few, if any. I agree. I think the one that he might give real soon with no questions asked is Penei Sewell. I had a Hawkinson jersey, but I burn it. I don't blame you.
He dropped it.
I remember when I met him, when I went to the October 2nd game. What was that? Two seasons ago, when I went with my dad. It was the 2022 season. Yeah, so now 2 seasons ago. And I met Dan and his woman there in Eastern Market, and we talked and went around to the different places. But he was wearing his Hawkinson one. J-Mo runs like the pigs are chasing him. I don't think we have enough to pay a quarterback $50 million. If you look at all the Super Bowl winning and losing quarterbacks over the past 24 years, there's only one that made more than 18%, and that was Jonathan Matthew Stafford after a trade to the Rams, a team built for Goff that they had to add pieces to during the season. Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, OBJ, to get him there because Goff was throwing fourth quarter interceptions and costing games in the middle of the season. So they added to that team to make it better because they needed a better defense to make up for those fourth quarter interceptions. If J-Mo keeps putting McFlurry ice cream on his McDonald's hamburgers, the cops need to be chasing him. So let's see. If you break it down at 18%, the top end is 46.2 million. The low end is the number I gave. 42.6. You put it there. I like that number for Goff. You know, it's funny. We always say that Jared Goff's a lot more like Kirk Cousins than other quarterbacks in the league, correct?
Yes.
Guess what Kirk Cousins' projected salary is as a free agent next year?
38.5.
Nope, it's less. 33.5.
Where did you see 33.5? That's less than even Derek Carr.
That was on Over the Cap. They said his projected salary is 33.5. So if Kirk Cousins is equal to Goff and equal to Dak Prescott, how is Goff projected to have a $46+ million salary?
Because he started winning. That's why. That's the only fucking reason.
No, I'm talking about if you look at Over the Cap when they say fair market value for a quarterback. You go in there and you click on it. Yeah, the only thing different is age.
Okay.
John Kapler. The rumored amount for St. Brown is $25 million at 3 years. That has been by everybody, NFL Network, ESPN, which means it's a valid contract offer.
So why not give him a 5-year with a freaking team and player option after the third?
Yeah, you do the player option for the 4th year and the team option in the 5th.
Exactly.
That's where
okay. JB, so I'm looking here at the cap for next year for the Lions, right? So right now it's projected at 161, right? That's what it's at right now. It's before your rookies and all that. So what would next year's rookies would be what? 20 million?
No, the rookie cap does not go up with the salary. It's 18 million a year. That's what rookie cap salary is. But
so 143.
These year's rookies that we just signed, they go up to 20. The year before that we signed go up to 22.
Hang on. So you're sitting at like 120 right there. Take 25 off the top for Amon-Ra's 25 million. That puts you at 95. If you sign Goff at 50 million, that's putting you already at what? 45 million?
Yep.
Then you still need to pay Sewell. You have to work on a deal for Hutch.
Well, Hutch, you can get the 5th-year option, so you can push him back another year, but that's going to put him close to the tag value of 19 million.
And it'll probably be even higher then because of what's going to happen in the next year. Well, this offseason here.
Yeah, because there's another CBA to do, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it's the last year of the CBA, isn't it?
I think this is the last year of the CBA. I think it's 2026, 25-26 season when they do it again. It's either that or 2028. I can't remember which.
Also, at that point, going into next offseason, you'll only have 22 active players on the roster. And there's not that much cap room to clear up without taking massive dead hits.
Right. People forget about Aleem, who is going to get a solid pay raise, and Iffy, who will probably get a little bump. Right. Iffy's probably going to get like CJGJ money. Probably somewhere in that 6 to 9 million range. And I would extend him now rather than wait. Because if he balls out again this year, that number is going to be higher.
Just let AG start coaching him again. You get him cheap. Sorry. I couldn't help myself.
with Brian Duker not being the safeties coach, and we've seen how he did with developing Iffy and Kirby, who everybody says is playing great, right? Overall,
Yeah.
he's gone. We got DeJean Townsend doing the whole defensive backfield now because they fired Dre Bly or just didn't re-sign him. I think that was a mistake too. Well, next year is rumored to be the lowest amount of cap added because there's no major contracts for TV deals coming up. Melo was the truth. Number 6. Absolutely. I would extend Iffy Melifonwu before I even thought about giving CJGJ a contract. I'm drafting somebody at safety probably in the 3rd or the 5th round because they'd be a depth piece on this roster. And the guy I like is James 6'5", 227-pound safety that runs about a 4.5. Get him in the 3rd round. It's a no-brainer.
Paul Jones, they add the 15 to the cap. It's all going to depend, though, on the next contract they sign for the broadcasting deals. I'm pretty sure a lot of it's going to go to streaming, and they're going to pay stupid money. So that cap percentage could go up even more than that.
But they're saying it's only rumored to go up 9% next year because there's no major contracts to be done because all of the main streaming services have already signed. Hulu, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Amazon, Apple TV, YouTube TV. They all signed in the last 2 years.
Uh-huh.
So all there is the second tier markets. And they don't pay a lot of money to get that licensing. They pay just enough to be able to stream it.
Yeah, which is why the exclusive for the live games.
No, they get the live games, but they're put on the second tier of servers that might lag out on you every now and then and have a bigger lag than the other ones. But the lag was horrible the first year with Amazon. Oh, it was god awful.
And they paid a whole lot of money for that.
I mean, when you break it down for that 10-year contract that Amazon Prime paid for Thursday night games, and then you start out the first game with the lag where you're right. It's projected to be around 255. It's already going up to 244 this year at minimum. It may only go up to 250, and the projected cap is at 255 for 2025. Think about that. That's the lowest increase we've seen over the past years since the CBA was done.
They'll never just go to a single service where it's just cable because there's way too much money to be made out there. But they can't take it away from cable and put too many games that are exclusive on certain streaming things because it'll avoid a loophole in the federal antitrust laws that the NFL gets for having the teams in different markets. It saves them billions of dollars, and once they avoid that, there's a good chance your NFL would crumble because they wouldn't be able to afford that.
Right. They lose the actual TV revenue. You guys don't realize how much of the sponsorships are just from TV revenue. Think about that. Your Bud Lights, all the whiskey ads you see, all the anti-drugs, anti-gambling stuff you see, all the online casinos, all of those advertise more on TV than they do on streaming services.
Hey, JB, I just had a great idea. We need to get a gambling site to sponsor us, get some Monster to sponsor us, some other shit like that. Yeah.
Mountain Dew.
And I need free piss water.
No, Pepsi products is what I'm saying. You got the in. Get us a contract.
I prefer this because this is more expensive than Pepsi, and I drink probably 10 of these a fucking day.
You don't know what he's going to do because Mountain Dew, liquid nectar of the gods. Yes. I agree. Well, we've been on for an hour. I got to get ready for work. I got to go do my work, my actual work day. Tune in tonight as we have the FYF Friday Lions Fan Cave Chat. And yes, if you're a fan of other teams and you come in and watch your show, make sure your skin is thick, because it is Fuck Your Feelings Friday. So we need to pick one of these ones that we're going to use as an exclusive betting thing for the season. And during the season, you do your best laid parlays. Go for your odds best. Do one that's the best bang for your buck, that gets you the biggest. FTP, free the pigeons. Absolutely. Speaking of free the pigeons, it is time to talk about my 3 sponsors. The first one is the one everybody loves that's a Lions fan. It is FTP. No, it's not the florist. Who is it, Dan?
Fuck the Packers, and fuck the Packers, and since it's Friday, fuck the Packers!
Yes, sir. FTP Fridays is here, and FYF Friday nights is coming up. Then the other sponsor, right here, that is Brandon Service. New and used tires, great prices. No, we're not trying to make $1 million off of one person. We're trying to make $1 million off of everybody. We have some of the lowest used tire prices in town, and we usually meet or beat anybody's prices on new tires. Give them a call, 810-233-8230. We are located at the corner of Grand Traverse and Atherton at 602 West Atherton Road, Flint, Michigan, 48507. Also, Gloss and the Grand, the best window tinter in Saginaw and the Tri-Cities. Give them a call. Schedule your appointment today. Tell them Smokin' Jeremy B sent you. 989-443-9240. He does great work, like on this Audi. And also the Chrysler 300. And just because everybody loves the way I do it, I got to take down the banner real quick. I got to do it. If you are a fan of any other team than the NFC North than the Detroit Lions, this is how you felt after watching us last season. Much better. I sent in you. Cry like bitch you should. And once again, as I always say, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. Starts within here. Because when you are the light for somebody else, God, Fred Peterson, you just made me lose my train of thought. When you are the light for somebody else, you are the light in the darkness, and your world will get better around you. Unless you're living next door to a Packer, Bears, or Vikings fan, then fuck them. You can be a dick all you want. I like my version of FTP the best. It's a lot like Jerry the King Lauder. Free the puppies! Was that a mic drop?
If I start calling you Jerry, don't wonder why.
That's okay. I've been called worse. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Yo, I hate when that shit happens. That's
I
just
know.
fucking rude.
I hate when somebody invites you over and goes, yeah, come on over about 7 o'clock. Oh, we just ate dinner a half hour ago. I say, I want to say thank you to all the sponsors. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We had a wonderful day talking some football with you guys. It is awesome when it's rolling. All I know is Hulk Hogan likes those puppies too. Free them.
Apparently he likes his friends' wives too. And people that look like his daughter.
It's better that it's people that look like his daughter than his daughter. I do have a factual statement there.
That is very fucking true.
You guys have a great day, and come check us out 9:30 tonight. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Let's let you leave with a little background music to go. This has been Lions Talk with Smokin' Jeremy B and Von Doom. I love when the chat gets so active that we just keep going. It makes it fun. Makes it fun to talk to all of you. I hope you all have a very blessed day. Unless you're a fan of another team, then FYD, fuck your day too.
Fuck the Packers. Will sucks. But Chin Padawan.
I knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm. Fred Peterson's a jerk.
That comment came up at the wrong time. This one. Now, Lions talk with Jeremy D and Voodoo Von Doom. Slippery Hands by Kenny Galladay. With these gloves, your hands will be so slippery, balls drop right through your hand.
Hey, man, depending on how you work all that, you know.
It was a visual, and I wasn't talking about football when I got.
I know. Fellas, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Come and have fun with us every morning. Let's go.
You guys all have a great day. Thanks for the laughs. Thanks for the great time. Thanks for the great conversations, the great debate. You know, because that's what this is about. Our opinions aren't going to be liked by everybody. I mean, the Lions Villain Squad is the home of the bad takes because we're going to piss somebody off. That's all there is to it. The opinions of this program are not necessarily those of the channel. Please refrain from getting upset, being violent, or throwing things at your TV. That all costs you way more money than just listening to the opinion.